What's happening, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Orlando Science Center. I'm Marquise, Meda, joined by Grace today, and we're getting ready to blast off into the summer season. It is Aerospace Month here at the Orlando Science Center, but before we shoot for the stars, we want to reach below our oceans, right? And we're learning about sea urchins today, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So today we're going to be talking about some really cool creatures underwater, and they are sea urchins. I bet you're wondering what they have to do with space, right?
What's the tie-in here?
Yeah, absolutely. So it actually started quite a long time ago. So back in 1965, there was actually some science experiments that NASA did with sea urchins. So specifically their eggs. Now, what makes their eggs so special is that they replicate very quickly, and they are actually what's called a broadcast spawner, which means that they will release the eggs out into the water column. So it's an external fertilization, which makes it very easy to study that type of cell division. So what they did back in 1965 was actually took some sea urchin eggs up in canisters, and they were able to study the different types of cell division and different stages of fertilization for sea urchins. So that experiment actually was not successful. So that's what happens in science, right? We got to try again and again. Yeah. So what they ended up doing was taking those canisters. One of the astronauts actually broke the canister before they could complete the experiment. But actually in 1996, so about 30 years later, they continued that science experiment and did find that microgravity, or the lack of gravity here on Earth, does affect cell division. And so basically this whole experiment over the span of 30 years kind of helped us to improve human cell biology research. So sea urchins played an actually very large part of our biology, which is very cool. And these guys right here, the ones we have in our touch pool at the Science Center, are similar. So they are not exactly the species that were studied in those experiments, but they are in the same family. So these guys are what's called echinoderms, which is actually similarly related to sea stars. So they're very closely related to sea stars, and these are two of the species we have here at the Science Center. So we have some green pincushion urchins. So these are the smaller guys here, a little bit paler in color.
So this dude right here?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
So when
I just
we
want
touch
to pick them up and squeeze them.
I know, they're very cool. So I can actually show you some really cool features of these sea urchins right here. So let's bring this guy up, for example. They are very cool. This exoskeleton that they have here is covered in spines. Now the spines do look very pokey, but we're always gentle with them. We want to make sure we're handling them properly. So we're nice and gentle with our urchin spines. Now they're not very pokey. It kind of feels like a toothpick. That's what we tell our friends who are coming here to the touch pool if they are nervous about touching the sea urchins, but they are very gentle. So
can I hold it real quick?
Yeah, so we want to actually just do like a two-finger touch.
Two-finger touch.
Right on top here is going to be nice and gentle.
Prickly,
yeah, it feels kind of like toothpicks is my best example, right? So these guys are very cool. That exoskeleton kind of helps to protect them out in the wild. They actually have tiny little tube feet is what we call them. So right in between the spines, you can kind of see the feet moving around. They're kind of wiggly. It looks almost like tentacles. And that's what's actually helping them to walk on the ground. So
where are they typically found?
So these guys are actually found right here off the coast of Florida. They are a native species, so they're found mostly in the Indian River Lagoon, but you can find them pretty much all along the entire coast of Florida. They're very, very cool. Their mouths are actually on the bottom of their body, so that is actually a really cool term that's named Aristotle's lantern, just because of the way it's shaped. Yeah. So it kind of looks like an old-fashioned lantern, and that's why they have that mouth name. But that actually helps them to kind of scrape things off of rocks, coral, algae. They're actually referred to as the lawnmowers of the ocean. So they're cleaning up all that dead material and helping our oceans stay nice and clean.
Awesome. Great to see that they're a benefit to society too, keeping our oceans nice and clean. And they're in your backyard here in the state of Florida too. So before you guys get ready to shoot for the stars and blast off into Aerospace Month, come check out the Orlando Science Center. We're all going to be eager to have you guys here, and I can't wait to see you guys rather soon.